when the Cavs go to pick at number 8, it's possible they can make a trade, use the pick for something else. But there's different type of players you'll be looking at in this draft. And one of the things that struck me is how the NBA has changed so much. Where I was watching some games with Wendell Carter Jr. from Duke. Wendell Carter, 6'10", low post guy, makes a little hook with the left side, hook shot with the right side, inside player. Here's the problem. The NBA doesn't like big inside players anymore. They want inside players that could make outside shots. Yes, Wendell Carter shot 41%. I think he took like 50 total three-pointers. But they want these, they call the stretch four, the big long and shoot guys, the athletic guys. Well, I happen to like inside guys, but I don't know how Wendell Carter, for example, would fit with the Cavaliers. Michael Porter is one of the more intriguing guys to talk about in this draft. Porter played only 53 total minutes with Missouri. Think about that, 53 total minutes with Missouri. He had back surgery. So why is he so high in the draft in terms of the experts? Why they have him rated so high? Because he was, in 2017, the 2017 High School Player of the Year, considered the best high school player. And if the NBA had the rule like when LeBron came out, where you didn't have to go to college to be in the NBA draft, he probably wouldn't have been among the top 3 picks or so in last year's NBA draft right out of high school. But since then, we've had back surgery. He came back and played a couple games at the end of the year. There's a lot of buzz that the Cavs will take him if he falls to 8. The upside. If he stays healthy, you got a terrific guy. I have to admit, I'm always kind of conservative on these health issues in these young players. Back surgery, almost of any type, of a guy at 19 years old really scares me. And back surgery, with athletes is always a major concern almost in any sport. The point guards they talk about, Trae Young, I mentioned before in another video, I like him. I'm not in love with him. I don't think he's the next Stephen Curry. But Trae Young, somebody's got to sit this young man down and say, you can really shoot. But you took 102 shots. That's 102 shots from at least not 10 feet, not 20 feet, not 25 feet, 30 feet. I mean, that's like you're playing downtown at Quicken Loans Arena and shooting from Richfield. I mean, where the old Coliseum used to be. No, 30-footers are great if you're Steph Curry, and even some of those are real wise, because the part of the reason Trae Young shot only 36% overall on three-pointers is because he was in the low 20% on those long 30-footers. Shoot the 22-footer, shoot the 25-footer, bring it in. Why is there a reason to like Trae Young? Number one, he led the nation in assists, 8.7 assists. I watched a couple of tapes of his games. He has really good court vision. I loved how the fact he'll get the ball in the backcourt and he'll see somebody up court, and rather than dribble like these guards do, he'll actually throw a pass, 40 or 50-foot pass to a guy ahead of him. It sounds sort of elementary, but that part of the game is disappeared in many ways. So he'll do that. Secondly, he's not a bad rebounder for his size. He's a skinny 6'2". I mean, there are concerns. I mean, here's the tough thing. I saw one of these mock drafts, top 15 picks in the draft. 2 guys who were not freshmen and 1 guy from Europe, otherwise a dozen freshmen. Think about that. A dozen freshmen, which means these guys going so high in the draft are like 19. 18 maybe if they're there, or certainly no older than 20. Stephen Curry, who was mentioned before, he spent 3 years at Davidson. That really helped him go into the NBA. Now, I know some of these guys come straight in after 1 year of college and play well. Jason Tatum did that for Boston. But overall, if you draft these guys, you have to realize you're going to have to take some time and develop them. And also, the NBA now, they basically discriminate against guys who stayed several years in college. They think, if he was that good, he should have come out early. And the guy that I like is Mikal Bridges from Villanova. Bridges from Villanova played 3 years at Villanova. Played on 2 championship teams. Small forward, make 3-pointers, tough guy. He has some real appeal to me. I've seen him going anywhere from 10 to 25, you know, depending upon where they go. I'll tell you, as a guy who was really hurt, for example, by this, who's ended up being a really good role player, Larry Nance Jr. Spent 4 years at Wyoming. In fact, when the Lakers took him in the bottom of the first round, they were criticized for what he had taken an older guy like that so low. You could have maybe got him in the second round. Well, that's possible, but the Lakers at that time actually thought Larry Nance Jr., the 4 years at Wyoming, could become a very useful role player. I mean, the fact is, there may be a couple of all-stars in this draft, but there's not going to be that many. So, by the way, that's like, if you don't like Trae Young, I kind of like Bridges from Villanova for the Cavaliers. I don't know who they like, but I know this much. Maybe they'll take Michael Porter, maybe it'll work out, but it's a scary pick to me.